So this is a little bit of help for people who are just now getting used to Canvas and getting used to how we do things. This is Spanish 1 period 1, Spanish 1 period 3, Spanish 2 period 7, Spanish 2 period 2, and Spanish 2 period 6. Your colors on your cards may look different, and of course you're going to have different cards. I'm going to focus on Spanish 1 period 3 right now. You have to wait for that little circle to finish loading. And as you know, this is the Canvas homepage. Recent announcements. You want to make sure you always click and fully read your recent announcements to see maybe is there anything you've missed? Is there something important going on? So it looks like I'm reminding people about Student View messages. There were clubs this past Wednesday. How cool. Parents, we do need that return to learn information. We had conferences yesterday. Extra help and tutoring. I try to post this Sunday night or Monday morning. So back to the home page. Yours is going to look slightly different. I have all of this information over here because I am a teacher. If you notice, I have a to-do list. You have a to-do list too. There's my email, phone number, my best time that I do for office hours as best as I possibly can. Tech support. That is the button you click on to get into our Zooms. Each button here has helpful and useful things. And then we have the record button. That record button means I've saved the recordings. So if you need some information, if you missed a class, or if you're just not quite sure of something, you can go back into the Zoom. You can email me with questions, you can text me or call me. And so as you can see, here are all of the recordings. Now I'm making this video on the 15th, so I will come back in and add in my recording from today. The recordings only last 30 days in the cloud, so these two are probably gone by now. Back to modules. You can ignore this one. It's about to disappear. Again, I have the teacher view. This is this week. It says Monday, October 12th and Tuesday, October 13th. That's the A day. That's the B day. And this is how we usually go through each lesson. Wednesdays, there will be work for your A day or B day classes. This week was an A day, so the work's there. If it was a B day, it wouldn't be. Thursday, that's what we're going to be doing. So if it's too much to look at, you can shrink it by clicking that bar. Welcome to class, your journey begins here. That's the stuff we did, just kind of getting to know each other. And I realized that this needed to be here at the bottom. There we go. So if you're just now getting here, go ahead and take a peek at what's going on in Spanish 1 here at Denby High School. Sometimes you have to wait for that to click up there. So this is our class overview for Spanish 1. If you ever need something to be read aloud to you, you've got this immersive reader feature. You also have Read Write in Google Chrome. So here are our units in Spanish 1. Here's the grading scale, and I follow the Newport News Public School rating scale. Here are our materials. Here's our expectations, and our Zoom etiquette, and work expectations. Now, as you go through a module, you read all the way through, and then you click Next. This is simply here in case you wanted to get to know me a little bit. I'm just sharing a little bit of information about myself, my family, and our dog. So there's the information. If you want to read it again, go to the bottom and click Next. Some people want to know about resources for Spanish. This is for Spanish 1 and 2. The 2 means that this is simply a copy of the page. You're in here for Spanish 1. Make sure you write down your logins and passwords as we do things, and I highly recommend that you use your school email each time with your first name dot last name at nnschools.org. We're going to use Quizlet a lot. That is the join link. We're going to use Senor Jordan a lot. This is language. We have already signed up for. The information is built into Canvas. This is a helpful resource, and this is getting onto our online textbook. Here are some other fantastic resources to help you. Again, click on the next button. You're going to get used to doing that, and that's okay. All right, so we have a question board. So if you have questions, you can put things in here, and I get notifications as they come through. Board of Positivity. Sometimes you just need some happy messages, so you can come visit the Board of Positivity for a quick pick-me-up. Make sure everything's school appropriate. Again, you click Next. Many people want to know, oh, will I be fluent at the end of Spanish 1? No. I've been studying Spanish since 1983, and I am not fluent. I am strongly proficient. But because I don't live in a Spanish-speaking country and I'm not constantly reading and writing and speaking and hearing it, I'm not fluent. So you've got a little picture about your path to proficiency, and here's a sample. It's okay in level 1 to say, big, I have mom, 2 sisters. That's normal. I do not expect you to say a big, long sentence like this. I feel very strongly about using Google Translate. I'm not a fan. There's nothing wrong with looking up a word or a phrase that you need, because I look up words and phrases. But if you're going to take the language, then the purpose is to actually learn how to hear it, read it, speak it, and write it. And it's okay to have mistakes. Again, you're a teenager, so your English is way up there. You've been speaking it between 13 and 19 years. This is new. I expect you to do baby steps. And that tells you you've completed something. Again, click Next. So Canvas getting started. I'm going to go back into modules rather than clicking all the way through that. When you were in your dashboard, you probably saw a Canvas training course. If not, I can help you get to that. But as you see, you do have a whole module that helps you with Canvas overview and resources. So if you notice, I've learned to build each week. And our unit is called Welcome to Spanish Class, First Steps. Throughout each one, I've been trying to build in Quizlet sets and vocabulary things to help you. Always click on Overview and To-Do List and read it, and then go to the next area. So let's see if there's anything in here. Okay, looks like class expectations and norms. That's not something you needed to go over with me in a video right now. But that is in there. Sometimes you just have to wait for that bar. It says waiting for cache. Okay. If it'll help too, when you see 2 little bubbles like that, that's a discussion post where we can type back and forth to each other. When you see an icon that is a rectangle with a pencil through, that means it's some kind of an assignment that I want you to turn in. It could be a writing assignment, it could be a picture assignment, it could be a video assignment, it could be a quiz, it could be a test. This little rocket ship is kind of like a quiz. It tells you that there's definitely something there to do, and it's probably going to be a practice quiz. It could be a real quiz. You just got to check on it and read it. I do try to put at the end of everything, what do I do now? And these explore, explain, elaborate, evaluate, engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate, that is something that Newport News wants us to be using in Canvas. So what kind of things do I put and what do I do now? Looks like I gave you some praise and give you some ideas on things you can do. I might put a picture in, but it looks like I give you some kind of, yay, you did it. I don't know how to make it go any faster. All right, so it looks like here we've got the alphabet. Let's go ahead and close that up. And I'm just going to jump into this week. I want you to go through each module and look for the things that I'm going to point out to you in this week because they're scattered throughout the other weeks. Again, read your overview and to-do list. What did we do Monday and Tuesday, for example? I try and give you a learning target at the start of every lesson. By the end of class today, I will be able to, okay? And some kind of goal. We have what we're doing. Then there's a to-do list. It reminds you what you need to do. And at the end, just reminding you to hit that learning target. Engage and explore. So we had a class discussion. Now, if you want a copy of your own notes, you can click here. This entire slide set is Google Slides, and this is my copy, but if you want to, you can click here. And if you want to go back to my tech tutorial lab on how to make copies of Google Slides, you can. But if you notice, right built into the lesson, you can kind of see what we did. It's kind of cool. When you make your own copy, you can do the dragging and dropping. If you're the kind of physical student who needs to do dragging and dropping and touching things. You see, we got to the end of it. So, vocabulary list. If you notice, this is engage and explore. So in the other engage and explore areas, I bet you'll have a vocabulary list. You have a gentle reminder to please join the Quizlet. You just click there and follow the directions. Use your school Google account. Make sure you have a first name and last initial and block number. I have 3 Anthonys. I have 4 Jadens, and some are men and some are women. And I've got 2 Jalens. So I just want to make sure that I do know who you are and give you credit for your work. So what is Quizlet? If you notice, since this is a lesson focusing on calendar and weather and seasons and dates, I bet there are Quizlets about days and dates and months and numbers, and here's weather and seasons. So they're all built into Canvas, so you've got them as you go along. Then we have the Senor Jordan videos. He's very safe. He's very relaxed. He's very neutral. You can watch him. He has colorful graphics that are nice and simple and clean and easy to read. He pauses to let you repeat and practice. Super safe. So days of the week, months of the year, numbers, weather and climate. I am on YouTube. And if you want to click here, there's the playlist for Spanish 1 Unit 0. So let's take a peek at Quizlet. And let's look at weather and seasons. So for those of you who need pictures, there we go. See how it flips over and gives you a picture? And you can make it bigger. When you have your own version of Quizlet, you can make it talk to you in Spanish, so when you click on it, it will say it. Learn and write and spell are other great study styles so that if you need something besides flashcards, there is a practice test. If you want to give yourself a practice test, you get to set it up how you want it. And there is also this match game, which is kind of cool. And you make everything disappear. And so you would just kind of drag things around and play the game. You're like, well, how do I know? Well, you just practice. And it looks like there might be something hidden. There we go. So it's just a way of playing. Okay? So all sorts of things to help you study. So all of these are going to be built into Engage and Explore. You have a vocabulary list. You'll have Quizlet sets. You'll have Senor Jordan sets that focus on what you need. And remember, you have to click next to go on to the next section. You could keep jumping back and forth into modules and have it reload. Looks like we have discussion posts. And I give you samples of what I want you to do. And then you go ahead and you make sure you click reply. Elaborate and wrap up. Where mine says published, you'll see a blue submit. Oh, I'm sorry, no. This is elaborate and wrap up. This isn't an evaluate. I'm sorry. Elaborate and wrap up lets you know, what did we do? Looking ahead, what are we doing next? Looks like I'm giving you a schedule of what's coming up. Click next to your written assignment. All right, now evaluate. That'll be an assignment. See the blue assignment up there? Where mine is a green published, yours is going to have a blue submit. And you click that submit button. Make sure you read all the directions. There's a prompt. I gave you a rubric. And then when you're done, you're going to have a blue submit button there too. Make sure you do it. What's going to happen is all sorts of glitter and stuff will go across your screen going, yay, and celebrating you. And over here, where I have speed grader and it tells me 11 out of 14 submissions graded, you're going to have a date and a time that tells you what you did. Alrighty, I hope that helps. Like I said, usually in the engage area, you're going to find your vocabulary list. You're going to find a copy of the digital notebook. You're going to find Quizlet sets and Senor Jordan sets to help you study and review in small chunks. Do let me know if you have questions or concerns. I hope this helped you.